Hello everyone, welcome back to the Twitter course. In this video, we're going to actually go over putting some data into our database. In the last video, we got our database set up. So we are connected right now to our SQL Server instance, and now we are in our database. So we set up this table right here last time. If we go to Design, we can take a look at it. So we have a user ID, a first name, a last name, an email, and a password. So now we need to put some data into it. So we're going to write some SQL here. So we can just right click here. Instead of actually manually entering in the data, I figured it would be a good exercise to do a little bit of SQL. So we're going to do new query. So we want to insert some data into this table. So we're going to say user. All right, and we're going to say user, and then values, and then inside of these parentheses, we will put our values. So this is the unique identifier, so we don't need to put anything there. So we just have first name, last name, email, password. So, oh, whoops. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was weird. All right, so first name, we can say John. Last name, we can say Smith. And then an email, we can say test@gmail.com. And the password is password. I'm sure that is probably many of your guys' passwords, but you don't have to tell me. So we're going to give it a shot now. We're going to hit execute. All right, see, incorrect syntax near the keyword user. So we made an error in making our table. So the word user is actually a keyword. So what we're going to do here is instead of using user right here, we're just going to right click here, and then we are going to hit rename. And we're just going to actually add an S to it. Users. All right, so we can do that. Insert into users values and then our values. Okay, so now let's go ahead and execute that. Boom, one row affected, and our completion time. So if we go here and then actually, we could run the query to actually select all of it. But there's a neat little tool here that allows us to select the top 100 rows, and it writes this query for us. And there it is. This is all of our all of the data now in our database. So we can go actually over here again, and we can run another one. So Mary Johnson, another test@gmail.com. Password 123. Okay. So now we execute that. It says we have one row affected and a completion time again. So if we go over here, execute this query again, see our user ID now is auto incrementing. We have our first name, our last name, email, and password. Okay, so there we have it. We now made our table actually include data. We ran a SQL query to insert this data into our database, and now we are actually able to see it. Again, so we hit this table, right click it, and then instead of having to write all of this out to select all of the data from the table, we can actually just hit select the top 100 rows, or excuse me, 1,000 rows. So this gives us the first 1,000 rows inside of this table. So it's a neat little trick here that we get from SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, and it allows us to see this information. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this made some more sense. Just wanted to keep it very simple. Again, we just wrote this one query. Again, we are inserting these are keywords. We insert into table name, and then we specify values keyword, and then inside of these parentheses, we specify the values. And then we use these quotes because, again, we're using varchar. If it was an int, we would just include a number. So, but again, that would fail because we're using varchar. So, anyways, I hope that that makes some more sense. So now that we have data in our database, we are going to put this on hold, the database at least, and we are then going to start on the API and make a very simple API call into this database. So pretty exciting, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.